Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. As always, if you like what you see, do hit that subscribe button and click the bell notification icon for all future updates. Today we're here in London looking at King's Cross. King's Cross is the southern terminal of the East Coast Main Line. As in the last video we looked at the West Coast Main Line, this was the next sensible choice to come and have a look. King's Cross has 11 platforms, confusingly numbered 0 to 10. With platform 0 being right underneath the camera now, and platform 10 right across the other side. Platforms 9 and 10 are short platforms, and are only used for commuter regional services, which historically has always been the case for this side of the station. Now looking up towards the north, we can see Gasworks Tunnel, which originally opened as just a single tunnel, which today stands as the middle one, and was opened in 1852. The left-hand tunnel was opened in 1878, and the right-hand tunnel was opened in 1892. From the years of 1977 to the year 2021, the right-hand tunnel was actually closed, and this is because in 1977 they converted the other two tunnels to run bi-directionally on each of the tracks, which at the time negated the use for the third tunnel. But in the early 21st century, King's Cross once again ran out of capacity, so they reopened the tunnel in 2021. Now looking back at the station, we can see a Go Via Thameslink service departing platform number 10 heading northbound. And it's heading into the second eldest tunnel. This tunnel nowadays is pretty much dedicated to most of the suburban movements, with express services using the other two tunnels. And arriving just now, we can see a Grand Central service coming into platform 8. Grand Central is only one of a handful of services which are ran by open access operators. The others being Heathrow Express, which runs into Paddington, Eurostar, which runs into round the corner at St Pancras, Hull Trains, which also runs into King's Cross, and the final one, Lumo, which also runs into King's Cross. Open access operators take on the full commercial risk, and are not given the support of any of the government franchises. So instead they purchase the rights to the paths on the railway in order to operate their services. But now we've swung the camera around and panned up to the station, we can see the wonderful train sheds, built by the Great Northern Railway, and it was opened in 1852. Originally only opening with 2 platforms, today's platforms 1 and platforms 8, with the rest of the space in between the platforms used as carriage sidings. Over the rest of the 19th century, the gap between platforms 1 and 8 was filled with additional platforms, as extra capacity was required. The platforms on the right-hand side, outside of the main train shed, are the suburban platforms as I noted earlier. These only opened in 1875, and if you believe in local folklore, Queen Boudica is also said to be buried under platforms 9 and 10, and that King's Cross is the site of Boudica's final battle. Behind the suburban platforms, we can see a brand new dome-shaped building, and was opened in the year 2012. We'll have a closer look at that later. And right now, cutting to this image, we can see another one of the open access operators' trains arriving, and this train belongs to the company Lumo, whose parent company is First Group plc. Lumo are the youngest company to use King's Cross, and their services run up the East Coast Main Line to Edinburgh, using Class 803 units. King's Cross is also famous for a lot of other things as well. Firstly, it was the terminus station in London for the Flying Scotsman. Secondly, it was also the terminus for the Mallard. But in popular culture, King's Cross is almost famous for having platform 9 3/4, and provides some rather exciting photo opportunities down on the concourse. And ever since the 1930s, the Monopoly Classic gaming board has also featured King's Cross as one of the squares to land on. And now departing from platform 4, we can see a London North Eastern Railway service, leaving King's Cross, heading northbound up the East Coast Main Line. LNER used to be owned by Virgin as a franchise from the government, but back in 2018 Virgin relinquished their contract and gave it back. And ever since then, The Department for Transport's operator of last resort holdings has ran LNER, which is similar to back in 2009, when National Express East Coast did exactly the same thing. They handed back the contract as it wasn't profitable, and the government ran the franchise under East Coast, all the way up until 2015. And now we can have a good look at why we have Gasworks Tunnel. Gasworks Tunnel is there to get underneath the Regent's Canal. A once important artery, but now really only used for leisure and tourism. If anybody's into cycling, I'd recommend cycling the canal path from end to end in London. In good weather it can make quite a nice day out. Now looking up and out to the west from King's Cross, we can see the old gasworks that we were talking about earlier in our St Pancras video, and the same station approaches as was in that video too. This gives you just an idea of how close King's Cross is to St Pancras, and we'll have a look at the other end as well. And we can see an East Midlands Railway Meridian class service departing for the north. Looking across, we can just about see the roof of the train shed for St Pancras and the station building itself with that wonderful Gothic architecture. Let's fly in and have a closer look. In the year 2012, King's Cross was fully restored, and the dome-shaped building on the right-hand side was also completed at this time. The glass train shed roof that we're about to fly over now, framed in iron, is the original and is 245 metres long, and at the time of building, this was the biggest station in the whole of England. Looking up towards the clock tower, at the end of the station at the concourse, is the main station building as it was originally, the clock tower being 34 metres tall from the ground, and held treble, tenor and bass bells, and was designed by the engineer Lewis Cubitt under the direction of George Turnbull, who was the residential engineer at the time. Now looking over to the main street, we can just about see all of the area that was also redeveloped back in 2012. Now we can't fly any further than this, unfortunately due to legislation, as I'm not allowed to fly over a crowd. And I think I'd call this a crowd, so we're going to stop here and have a look around instead. The rather smart cream and white building coming into shot from the right hand side was the original Great Northern Hotel, and directly behind that is St Pancras Station. The old building at the bottom of the shot, running left to right, was the old station buildings, with the higher bit in the middle being the old booking hall. And behind that, the brand new building, completed in 2012, was designed by John McCaslan, and it has to be one of my favourite pieces of modern railway architecture I've seen yet. We're just going to cut the video here so we can have a look what the inside looks like. This is an image from inside that dome facing the old Great Northern booking hall, which today is still used as a booking hall. The design of John McCaslan's building makes use of as much natural light as possible and makes the interior very welcoming. This photo was taken from a mezzanine level, where there are loads of different shops to have a look at, and downstairs restaurants as well underneath. And here's a picture of it from the outside, from an area that I couldn't get the drone to. In this picture it shows you just how close King's Cross is to St Pancras, with only a road separating the two, which is why King's Cross and St Pancras share the same London Underground station, which in turn makes this London Underground station the most busy one on the network. But as we go back to our drone footage, we're now going to have a look northbound again, from the concourse end. The building on the left hand side just coming into shot is Google's brand new office space in London, King's Cross 1, otherwise known as the Landscraper, for obvious reasons. And just popping into the tunnel we just saw a Mark IV DVT there, which would have been the stock used on this line back in the 90s, which is almost completely phased out. As we look on up past the Regent's Canal, these buildings were used to house grain brought in from Lincolnshire for all of the bakeries in London, and it used to be an area where trains would offload their goods ready to be sold in London. Today it's a regenerated area with shops, restaurants and offices. Flying back on up, we can see the new approach that was laid down for King's Cross, specifically on the right hand side. In the year 2020, when the third tunnel reopened, the track layout was rationalised and all of the sidings were removed. Going back to the 90s, I specifically remember on the right hand side there used to be short spur sidings where light diesel engines would sit in readiness to go and rescue broken down trains. Those all had to be removed to reopen the third tunnel and provide extra capacity into and out of King's Cross. All that remains there now is the Network Rail office and the area for parking the Network Rail vans up in. As when I was there, filming this, I saw plenty of their vans going in and out. To the right hand side surrounding the station nowadays is a selection of different office blocks, and behind those office blocks, at the northern end, is what's known as the Battlesbridge Basin, off of the Regent's Canal. This is where narrow boats dock, and Battles Bridge was the original name for King's Cross before it was known as King's Cross. Now as we come to our musical outro, I'd like to thank you for watching, as I leave you with some more shots of King's Cross. And I'm overwhelmed by the amount of people that are coming to watch these videos, so thank you so much. And again, if you've liked what you've seen, hit the subscribe button and don't forget to press the bell icon for future uploads. Again, thank you. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.